In this video, I'd like to show you how to use the Talk tablet for communication and speech, as well as how to edit a button, how to add buttons, and how to move buttons. So let's just start by showing you how you can use it for communication. So I'll start the Talk tablet app here on the SpeechWatch. And it comes with a number of vocabulary sets, that are set up by 2x2 grids, or you can scroll up and down. There's 12 or 13 vocabulary sets that are included. I'll just show that very quickly. Here's all the vocabularies that are included. There's a lot of them. Right now I'm using a 16-button immersion. And let me go back. Okay, so if I want to use it to speak, let's first look at the top here. I have a message bar, we call it, across the top. So I can put in, if I touch a word or a button,
I want.
There's a backspace button here too. I can delete that. There's also a keyboard button there. I can bring up my keyboard and I can type directly into this to do text to speech or to add text to symbols that I've chosen. Again, keep in mind that this Talk tablet on the SpeechWatch does not have to have symbols on the buttons. You could have just text on the buttons if you prefer, but I'm just showing this as a standard setup for now. Okay, so then at the bottom half of the 3/4 of the screen, we have all of our buttons. I can remove the sentence bar or the message bar if I want as well. I can simply go into settings, default settings, and turn it off. But let me give you an example of it speaking here.
I want to.
And as I'm selecting things, they're popping up here into my message bar.
Play. Cars and trucks.
So each of those, as I selected it, came up in here to my message bar.
I want to play cars and trucks.
And now if I touch the message bar, it speaks out the entire sentence. Or I could simply just
Go.
type words or select buttons from the screen and it will speak those out as well. Just as an example, I can remove under default styles, setting default styles. I can take away the message bar just by deselecting it there and hitting save. Now I have no message bar. So here I'm at my home screen. Again, this is the emerging symbol, emerging vocabulary set it's called. And
I don't.
yeah. And so you can just, again, you can symbol whatever communication you want. You can use your phrases. Again, there's 13 different vocabulary sets set up in here already.
Yes, no. This is fun.
And let's go back to the top. Okay, so I will remind you that this button here on the left is a back button. So that will take you back a page. Or if you don't want to use that button for back, there's also the back that's displayed up here in the top left-hand corner. Again, this is the same app that you run on an Android tablet and the same app that we have on the iPad tablets as well. So if you're familiar with that version of it, this is exactly the same. Okay, so I've showed you a little quickly at communicating. Now let me show you how to edit a button. And I'll go into People.
People.
And there's all these buttons in here. And let me edit a button just to show you how it works. So I will go into well, let's take this button here, one of these blank ones. I will edit one of those. To edit one of the buttons, I touch Edit in the very top here. You see it on the menu. I touch Edit. And see each button, when I go into Edit mode, the top left-hand corner, you see a little black circle with a white X in it. If I touch on that, that will delete that button. The bottom right-hand corner, there's a blue circle with a white star. Each time I press that, it will toggle from visible to invisible to dimmed and back to visible. And that's for people who want to make a button dimmed or invisible and then later on bring it into the vocabulary for the user so you don't overwhelm them with too many choices. Just you can make them invisible for the time. And let me change this one here. It says Mom. I'm going to change it to Mother. So again, if I touch anywhere in the middle of the button, I go into the edit mode, edit, delete, or copy. I will select edit. The label says mom. That's what you're actually seeing on the button. Let me go back. See where it says mom? I'm going to hit edit, touch the button. This under label where it says mom, that is what's appearing on the button. Text to speech is different, or it can be the same. It's completely up to you. So the label may say mom, and I may want to say the text to speech to say, I love my mom. And let me backspace that a little bit. And so now I'm looking at my label, it says mom, my text to speech. There's nothing in there. So it will speak whatever the label is unless you put something in text to speech. So let's do that. Let's leave mom the way it is, but we'll change it to mother. So let me back out of there. And we'll just say mother. So now it says mother. The text to speak, well, in there, I'll put and the text to speech, I'll just leave that the way it is. So it will say mother. If I put text to speech, something different in there, I could type whatever I wanted and it would say what's in the text to speech field. Or nothing is there, it will go back and just speak whatever's on the label. Let me come down here a little farther. We have silent. If I don't want this button to make any noise when it's selected, I don't want it to speak, I just want to put it on silent for whatever reason, you can do that. Select the song. You can choose that. You can go onto your phone and you can select music that's on your phone, any music, and it'll play it when you touch it. Record audio. You can record speech. You don't have to use just synthetic speech. You can record sounds. Anything that's recordable, you can have that on the button instead. Come down to select a symbol. Now this is key. So if I press select symbol, now again, you don't have to put symbols on a button, but a lot of people with using a symbol-based system will put a symbol on there. So select symbol, select from library, or take a photo. Select symbol, it brings up the database. There's over 30,000 of the symbol sticks communication symbols that are included on the SpeechWatch. They're built into it. Or you can use a photograph of like a photograph of your family or image or whatever you want. And that's using select from library. So that's, you've got something on your phone or on your SpeechWatch that you want to put on the button and not a symbol. The last one is take a photo. There's a camera here in the front of the SpeechWatch, and it's right there. It's really tiny, but you can actually use it to take a photo, and that will go on the button. So in this example, I'll just say select symbol. And this brings up the complete library of symbol sticks, communication symbols. If I touch on the top here, this is my search box. And let's suppose we type in there, we'll just type in there mother. Oh, correct that. And do done. Now it will search for mother. So here's all the options for mother. And you can decide which one you want. This one's kind of fun. We'll choose that one. And there's the symbol. So I have a new symbol. Link page. I can change the button background. Right now it's white. So let's change that just to show you how it works. So when you go into a color picker throughout the SpeechWatch and in Talk Tablet, first thing you want to do is, what is the general color you want to choose? So let's suppose we wanted to have a green background. So on the spectrum here, we touch here somewhere in the green. On the left-hand side, then we have shades of the color you selected in the spectrum. So we want to go a little brighter green. And as I'm selecting these, you'll see this button in the bottom, the square in the bottom right-hand corner. That's the actual color that we've selected from over on the left side here. So I like that color too. So to confirm that that's the color I want for my background, I just simply touch it. There it is, button background. Buttons can be transparent. In other words, that there is no background. You can just see through them. So you could put an image on the background of this page and you could see through the button. And so you can make hot spots and that sort of thing. The color of the text on the button that says right now mother is black. That's fine. The border color is blue. We can change that if we want. Again, I hit color spectrum to select a general color. Then I'll check the shade of that color. And if I like it, I touch on this square here. The button border is now selected as that color. Enable label. Yes, I am going to show my label. Do I want the label on top or bottom? By default, it's on the bottom. But if I want to put it on the top, I just select it there. And let's do that. Label on multiple lines. So if you have a label that's longer than can fit on the width of the button, it will roll down and show up on 2 or 3 lines. This is important too. If you're using a SpeechWatch with no symbols, let's suppose you're an adult with Parkinson's, and you just don't want any symbols or pictures on the buttons just because you think it looks, I don't know, too simple. You can have lots of text on a button because you've selected labels on multiple lines. You can put a whole phrase there and it'll roll back. Font size, this is the font size of the label. Right now it says mother, but the font size is 20. You can make it bold or not, or italics. The border width, this is the width of the border, and I'll make it larger of this particular button. So there's all the changes I've made. It says mother, and the background's a little bit different. Now I hit save. And there we have our button. How simple was that? And if I touch on it,
Mother. Mother.
Okay. Now, if I decide, I don't like something about that, at any time, just simply touch the edit button at the top, touch the middle of the button. It's the same with every button. Go into edit and make whatever change you want, whatever you want. Simple, simple. Very intuitive. Next thing I'd like to show you, that's how to edit a button. Let's show you how to add a button. So let's suppose we're on this page of people and let's add a new button. So we have these buttons, although they're blank, they're not new buttons. But let me show you how you add a new button. Hit edit up here. Then see the top right hand corner, it says add. Choose add. Now there's two choices, add button or add page. Add button is for adding a button that says something. It's just a button that you touch it, it's going to say something that you've put in there. Add page is like adding a whole category of new buttons. Let's suppose you wanted to add a button called colors, and it opens up to a blank page and you would have buttons for all the different colors. In that case, you would choose add a page. And then you would put label as colors and it would open up a new page of buttons. In this example, I'm simply going to add a simple button. So I will do add button. Again, one that says something. I'll give it a label and I'll just say hello. Text to speech, that hello is fine. Actually, I'll make it, let me do something. I will make it longer. The text to speak will actually say hello. Okay, so the label says hello. That's what the button looks like. But when you touch it, it will say hello, my friend. Silent, record audio. I'm not going to do anything else fancy with this. Button, background, text, font, border, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I'll make the font bigger just to see. It's a little bit bigger. And when I'm finished, I just simply hit save. If I scroll up to the top, there's hello. I don't have a symbol on there. So I hit edit. Just go into edit. Touch on the button. Go into edit. See, I want you to see how easy it is to go back in there and change these things. Real simple. And let's put a symbol on there. And I'll type in hello. And see what symbols pop up. This one's pretty cool. We'll just use that one. There it is. And then I hit save. I'm going to touch on it.
Hello, my friend.
How cool is that? Okay, so show you how to edit a button. You know how to add a button. To add a button, you hit edit and then add and then choose whether you want a button or a page button. To move a button, if I wanted to move this hello button over here or anywhere, suppose I want to move it over to here. To move a button, while you're looking at your buttons and you're not in the edit mode, you're just in the regular mode, press and hold on the button until it starts wobbling. And then slide over just to the left of the button where you want it to go. And now it just a little bit. And that's what, and it'll just move it right over. I'll bring it back over again here. Press and hold, come across. There you have it.
Hello, my friend.
Very, very simple. Now, if you wanted to add a new user, we want to create a whole new page starting from scratch, you would go into settings, current page set. Again, we call this a page set. It's a page set of buttons and pages for communication. And there's a whole bunch of them that are all pre-set up. But if you want to create a brand new page set, there's the ones that are included. You just come down here to add user and give it a name. There's some other ones here if you want to take a look at. Feel free to go through there and peek at them.
Rosie is my dog. This is my home.
You can do that. By the way, you can rotate these too. and you can speak it out. You can create whatever you want. Again, keep in mind, this is a full-blown computer. It's not an add-on to a tablet or a desktop computer. The SpeechWatch is completely self-contained, and you can do all your editing, adding, creating, and everything else on it. Don't forget, it also has our access to our cloud server because it has Wi-Fi access. I can simply go into here, Settings, log into Talk Tablet Cloud Server. First, you create register your name. So you hit a register and you give it a username and a password. Do not use an Apple ID or a Google ID or something important. Just make something for Talk Tablet, something simple that you remember, and just go with that. So if I log in here, and put in my password, and say login. It's logged in. This watch, the SpeechWatch, is logged into our cloud server. It's absolutely fascinating. I can use this now to do backups. I can use it for all kinds of cool things. If I want to go on to our server and find a button or a page or whatever, I can manage my own buttons and pages that I've uploaded. I can download other people's buttons and pages. There's over 6,000 of them up there, and that makes it real simple. If I created this button here called People, and it was very cool and I wanted to share with others, all I would do is hit Edit, touch on the button. See, now we have an option called Share. That wasn't showing up before. Before it was just Edit, Delete, Copy, Share. Because I'm logged into the cloud server, the Talk Tablet cloud server, if I hit Share, I can give it a description. And I'll call it My Share. This is quite seriously one of the most powerful features of Talk Tablet, is because you're not standalone. You have access to our cloud server. You can upload and download files from other people that have made them available. And I'm doing this right now. I'm going to share that button onto the cloud server. If you look down here, I can choose to make it public or private. So if I want nobody to see it, only for myself or people I have my username and password, I can make it private. And then when I'm finished, I simply hit Share. It's uploading it. It's finished. Isn't that cool? Just to show you how cool that is, that it's already on the cloud servers, there's another cool thing in the settings called Manage My Talk Tablet Files. And it's going onto our server right now. That's how fast it happened. And if I come down here, these are all the files that I've uploaded. Look at them all. If I come up to the top, four buttons, two buttons. There it is. There it is. There it is. I can edit, I can import it, I can download it, I can share it with others. But the point is that there it is. It's right there sitting there as one of the files that I've uploaded. And it's on our cloud servers. Anyway, very powerful. So this is important because if you're running Talk Tablet on a tablet, or like an iPad or an Android tablet, you can then send files to the smart SpeechWatch or vice versa, back and forth using that cloud server. And that gives you a quick demonstration of how to use it, how to edit, add, and move buttons, and how you log into the Talk Tablet cloud server.